See, the fiends gonna admire the dude with the fire, but the gangsters gonna respect the one taking that check. And will come for the neck of those who disrespect. I experience gun showers, burned by gunpowder. Tears are reserved from the work of a lone coward. You know the feces in the game when their coward command power. And never go so hard that you really disgrace God. And never let a cat play around with your face card. And never go so hard that you really disgrace God. And never let a cat play around with. Hey yo, 31.
Top of the game. Salute, salute, salute. Welcome to the Rise and Grind segment of the 212 show. Today I got a juicy, juicy topic, man. And it's on your boy Akademiks, man. Academic, man, you part of the problem, bro. Every time I turn around, like, you know, you got, I don't know what's in your head. I know when I met you in YouTube studios in the Google building, Jerry Springer had, invited me over. Me and Jack Frost, of course. I met Jerry Springer coming through in the elevator, whatever. We kicked it. We came upstairs. He was doing the Judge Jerry situation. Me and Jack Frost took some pictures with him, whatever. Jack Frost went on to finish editing an episode for the Wokecast. And I stayed with Jerry for a while. We chopped it up. Made Jerry rest in peace. Because he really actually reached out to me or whatever. And was trying to put me in position with a couple of things as well. But when we get into the little break area where the snacks and everything got sodas and stuff like that, coffee, Academic pulls up. At this time, Mel Cross is there. He pulls in. KK made it. So I think it's me, Mel Cross, Jack Frost, and KK. And I seen then this dude with the square, like he's the lane, like good kid that found a little lane, on the internet, and he really don't understand street culture, hip hop culture, none of the above. Come on, he's a 6'9", he's a 6'9" fanatic. So that tells you what time it is with him. But yeah, you part of the problem, Academic. First of all, this live is based on you saying Jim Jones, Fab, Mano, dressed like YNs. I know people will say, yo, here goes another Jimmy. Nah, I wasn't on Jimmy the first time. Jimmy just said something I didn't like, so I addressed it. But when it comes to fashion, I'm diehard Jim Jones, man. I put that thing on, whether it be Prada, Burberry. I happen to have Burberry on right now, with the exception of the polo hoodie. But Burberry, Gucci, Fab Jimmy all day. Man, don't be putting that thing on too. Not maybe to the extent that Jim Jones and Fab do it, but yeah, man, don't put it on too. Right? But they come from the epitome of drip, the epitome of fleet, the epitome of fly. You know what I mean? They come from that era where we robbed and stole for fashion. You got millions of dudes that done bids to get fresh, to get fly, to get drippy, to get fleek. This is what New York is about, man. To Academic. Let me give you an introduction to New York culture, to New York fashion. Let me give you an introduction to the giant hip hop, man. Y'all call it rap now, but Jim Jones them is hip hop babies, man. Fab hip hop baby. Fab really original low life on the low. Like, I mean, come on. That was sport low. You know what I'm saying? So when you say certain things, you gotta understand, bro. You don't really understand the origin from which we came, man. I did a bid to rob and steal. Just stay fly. We robbed and stole, got fly. We went to Dapper Dan and places like that or whatever. Kings Highway, to the Guest Kings Highway to the guest spot to get the guest suits with the leather coming across the shoulders. Like, a lot of people lost their lives, man, in the name of fashion, man. And the same way I got at Jim Jones about, the gatekeeper thing and all that, I'm going to defend Jim Jones about fashion. Yeah, I called him out at the end of my video about the fashion thing. He understood what, I guarantee you, Jimmy understood what that means. In his mind, he probably said, yeah, when I see CK ass, he better be wearing that thing. You know what I mean? It's a fashion thing. It's what we do, man. You know what I'm saying? This was some real shit. Become totally clean. I was in my head, like, I didn't really want to come at Jimmy like that. But come on, bro. The cloud chasing thing wasn't, what I expected to come out of his mouth. I did make the phone call to Mandu, and a couple other dudes that started making videos, getting ready to get. I said, yo, bro, that's the homie. You can't do that. Like, fall back. That's my only issue with Jim Jones and the cloud chasing thing. Because I see people trying to run with that. Nah. I mean, my hat goes up to Jim Jones, man. Especially when it comes to this fashion thing, man. But you got people like Akademiks that see certain things going on. He's trying to piggyback. So he don't really have, an angle in the game. He gonna say they dressing like YN. No, the YN dressed like us. The YN dressed like us. They wouldn't know about Prada and all that, Balmain. If it wasn't for us, we're the fashion gods. We're the fashion tour gods when it comes to wearing clothes. A good example. You got Kai Cenat. Jimmy influencing him. You know what I'm saying? He don't do it all the time, but you watch Kai. Jimmy influenced Kai. Shit, back when I came over prison, Jimmy influenced me. He had me wearing Black Label and the Rebel hats, the Chewies and all that, True Religion, and you know what I mean? But I was thinking I should have bought the throwback 02 True Religion jean suit right now. I could bring out for you. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. Like I told Jimmy, I told you give props to the author. Salute. I'm giving props to the author. Yeah, you did that. You created that swag. We can even go back as far as Vinny Styles. Benji jeans. You remember the Benji jeans? Yeah. Jimmy in them. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to do that, man. You know what I mean? A lot of people thought, yeah, CK, he hating on Jimmy or he bouncing on Jimmy. I didn't bounce on Jimmy. I just bounced on something that Jimmy said. You know what I mean? You see how I'm giving this props right now? Because I don't follow. I don't let people tell me who I should dig, who I should not dig. Also, I still say Caught in the Milk was the hardest Jim Jones joint. But I had the HSC Range Rover, midnight blue with the peanut butter guts. So you couldn't tell me that I wasn't motherfucker. I don't even want to use that term, matter of fact. Let me say that. You couldn't tell me I wasn't a rock star. I want to say wavy, but I don't want people to think that, with the term in terms of, the wave. Shout out to him too, though. That wasn't a shot at him, but I don't want dudes to think that I'm adding on to anything. I have nothing to do with none of that. I don't support and or sponsor anything dealing with their personal problem. Never think I want to address. When I said tell Chrissy, I said hi. It wasn't disrespect. It wasn't a shot at Chrissy or Jim Jones. For people that know me, I did a lot of security all around the industry. Most of the time, they had me in the cut. I was that guy. I mean, the Ulashay. You know what I mean? Sitting around or whatever. And from time to time, I would speak to Yandy. This is love and hip hop period. I would speak to Chrissy, and Chrissy was actually kind to me. Kim Bella screamed on me. Thought I was a nigga. Nigga, what's it, man? I said, yo, first of all, your husband is my man. What are you talking about? Tell Wells, or you speak the twin, whoever, Black and Dawn, let them know CK is out here holding you down. I'm not here for that. But at the end of the night, we became cool and shit. She realized who I was. Yandy told you, nah, CK, nah. You know what I mean? And the next time I seen it was that Yandy birthday party in the Bronx. And I held Yandy down or whatever. Free security for Yandy, by the way. So people don't think I didn't charge Yandy. I wouldn't charge Kim Bella. I wouldn't charge Chrissy. Why? Those are that's the homies' wives. I would never do that. Right? But the time I was around, Chrissy was rather kind to me, man. You know what I'm saying? She was like, hey, how you doing? You good? I said, yeah, I'm good. This and that. I spoke to her first. She said, how you doing? This and that. Very professional, ladylike, and she was kind to me. Yandy always kind to me. By the way, yo, shout out to Ben DC. You know, I was introduced to man DC to my little brother, baby Junior. You know, shout out to that. But you know, I've been around, you know, the first ladies, stuff like that. They'll tell you I was always respectful. So let's clear that up. It wasn't a shot. I don't know Chrissy to that extent, but she was kind. I don't even know if Chrissy remember me, but she might remember me. Maybe she don't. But I was a part of the pack. You know what I mean? I was there in case shit went left. I'm going to clean it up and then go home. At that point there in the own, once I cleaned it up. You understand what I'm saying? But, yeah. So that's why I said tell Chrissy I said hi, because Chrissy was very kind to me. Eventually, Kim Bella became kind. In the beginning, she roughed my ass up, though. I got some of the videos in my phone with them on the couch having fun and all that. You know what I'm saying? I held them down like a true soldier. Because even though I'm one of the founding fathers under the U, I forever remain a soldier. You know what I'm saying? But I can't be brought. I don't sugarcoat. I don't go into none of that. This is why me and some of my counterparts are not seeing eye to eye now. Why? Them old niggas bugged out. Yeah, I said it. Some of you old first generation niggas is bugged out, man. Go get a job or something, man. Did you file your income taxes yet, nigga? Oh, y'all don't work. Anyway, back to academics. You know what I mean? I feel like he do Fab and Mano on them, man, as a bluff. He really was getting that Jim Jones, man. He really was getting that Jimmy. And the same as my brother's keeper, I pull Jimmy up. I'm going to roll up my sleeves and fight for him. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And man, do I see you acting up out in them videos, man, or maybe get at you, son. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe do that one. You know what I mean? You know, niggas know I shoot that 52. I'm saying that's it. I missed that fuck with man. The man Deuce. Salute. Shout it out. Bad Vibe, shout it out. OG Blue, shout it out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. You know, and I do feel like dude is taking like intentional jabs. Should I say unnecessary jab to Jim Jones? I didn't take a jab at him. I just checked him about that gatekeeping thing. Dude, like I feed my family off of this. What are you talking about? Gatekeep what? Then you say irresponsible podcast. But then again, maybe Jimmy don't see me amongst the other podcasters because I really don't be on here with paperweight parties. I don't be on here, you know, looking for fault in people and stuff like that. You know? Also, shout out to 10 Toes Down for pointing that out. Because after 10 Toes pointed it out, I'm like, yo, what? Who said Jimmy dressing like a YN? No, you got that backwards, bro. Got that backwards. Listen, I've been getting fly since the 70s. Yeah. 9-10 years old. We've been running out. It went from London Fog to Polo. Anybody don't know about London Fog? That means you're younger than us. But that's where the fashion started at. London Fog Gooses, London Fog trench coats, Easter time. I don't know if you remember the Mark 5. They had some sneakers called Mark 5. And I had on the beige and brown Mark 5 sneakers. You know what I mean? I think a pair of Lees. And then I had the 3/4 trench coat, the London Fog trench coat on top of that. You know what I'm saying? Knocked him out the park, Rick. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I got to defend the guys. Mano, Shout it out to Mano. Shout out to Fast. Shout out to Jim. I got to defend the guys on that, man. Them dudes ain't dressing like YNs, man. I knew Mano most of his life. He knew me most of his life. Here's the little dude. He bigger than me now. I think Mano would have beat me up, man. That do something to you in small, Mano? But at the end of the day, you know, I can't even understand how you come up with that. I remember one video, because I follow Jimmy. I'm on all Jimmy's social media, all that. Right? And Mano. I follow them. Right? Y'all niggas don't say nothing back when I go on your DM and say, yo, what's good, homie? This all good, though. Love is love. I know CK stand on his own 2 feet. I don't need nothing. But at the end of the day, I'm watching Mano and Jimmy in the gym. And Mano put the cam on. Yeah, he got this. And the dog, and the slide dog had on Prada in the gym to work out. I said, yo, Jimmy is a motherfucker.
You wore it anyway, didn't you, nigga? Huh? What? Yo, Fab, look at your man. He got on a whole Prada coat. You out of pocket, man. You out. No, this is the gym. We going to the club or no, we going to the gym. All right, no, what the? You got on a whole Prada outfit, my nigga. We going to the gym. These are the Prada sneakers. My nigga, you out of pocket. I'm not going. I'm not going. It's over. It's over. It's over. You and Fab do this. You and Fab do this. I can't go in the gym. I don't work out with niggas wearing Prada, man. I can't do this, man. These niggas is crazy.
I mean, pardon the friend, but I said, Jimmy a motherfucker. You fly ass motherfucker. So don't get it twisted, man. I mean, I'm just a natural competitor when it comes to fashion, flair, stuff like that. Everybody that know me know I got about 100 coats, literally, maybe more. Every time I see something to fly, I think nobody else gonna have it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure that's the mindset of these guys. They like it. They feel like it belongs to them. They go get it, man. The YNs are learning from us, bro. And 10 Toes said, we had Puma suits, Adidas suits. We was at the break dancing. We would have the bottom of the suit. I had the pop lock. If I get up and I get busy, right? Anyway, I see Chris Brown. I'm doing my, they don't even know how nice I was back in the day. Anyway, and you know, we had bell-bottom pants. Most of the time, you know, the Latin people, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, they wore bell-bottom, right? Because they didn't really care. They call it the guato style. So they had the bare bottoms and, you know, stuff like that or whatever. But for the most part, bro, we was born and raised off of fashion, man. You know? I know dudes gonna probably say, oh, yo, CK, yo, he on some mood shit now, but shout out, you know, and rest in peace to Homo Pop. Yeah, Abby. These are the people that put us on the fashion back in the days. Yeah, gay dudes put us in the mix. You know what I'm saying? We knew their whole family, they were our family. They put us in the mix. Rena, Melinda, Patio. Understand what I'm saying? Jackie. I almost used the F word. Jackie don't hit me. But Jackie Rowe. You know what I mean? These are the females that, you know, I grew around that was coming, putting that thing on us. Eyes on shirts, polo shirts. Back then they had stuff called French knit and French cut. Dudes was wearing gabardines, and it went from that, was transitioning over to Levi suits, Lee suits, Martinets, suede fronts. This is the generation. We little kids now. We watching the older dudes wear suede fronts, leather fronts. So we started wearing them. Then I started freaking it, going to Lower Manhattan where all the Jews and stuff stopped. I started coming back with the sweaters with the whole leather coming across the whole body. Like it come from this shoulder over here and come all the way across the body. Boom, leather on the front of it. Wallaby Clarks. Shout out to the Wu-Tang for keeping the Wallies alive. Yeah, Wu-Tang. Yeah, they kept the Wallaby game alive. And you know, I could go on for days, man. But y'all gonna watch this recording and see how much I really salute, I respect, and I honor Jimmy, man. This ain't a backpedal for them. I meant that first video. I meant everything that I said in the first video. But it wasn't to diss my homie. but to put him up by his bootstraps. You know what I mean? Certain terms you don't use because even if you just said it, you know, as a real question, you open the door for the powers that be to say, and then start trying to put a cap on streaming and, you know, content creators. We don't need that. All right? But I'm gonna give it to you hands down, bro. You know, I ain't letting academic and nobody try to, you know, cast a shadow. You know what I mean? Over the house Jimmy built, man. He did that, man. Over the house Fab built. Fab fly. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes Jimmy, I'm trying to figure out who fly. Fab been doing that thing, man. So I don't know, man. Not to create no competition in your studio, even though I know it already exists. You can't have two more folks that they got wings and they want to fly away. They so crispy with it, and don't think they'll look at each other like, well, that shit today. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all stop killing our culture. Stop putting an AIDS expiration date on black culture, man. Fashion is like sitting the forefront of black culture. How do y'all do that? But then academic, he's not black. He's not white. He's not Asian. He's just some kind of life form that's just sitting there. He's alive. He eats. He talks. He walks. But he don't know a motherfucking thing, man. Keep Jim Jones' name out your mouth. Keep Fab name out your mouth. Keep Mano name out your mouth, man. Keep Dave East name out your mouth. I watched him put the little, you know what I mean, little 90s joint on, all that little green shit. I said, all right, Dave trying to catch up. Because I mean, he a YN, so he dressed like the YNs. You know what I'm saying? He be fly though. He don't be dirty like that. Don't get that twisted. It's just that I don't really think back then he would just like wear jeans, t-shirt or whatever, something foreign on his feet or whatever case may be. Of course, you know, he stayed bricked up and rocky on the wrists and all that. And I think now he's starting to apply more time into his wardrobe and how he walk out his door now. I've been seeing Dave East a little lately, and he be looking kind of okay. You definitely got to shout it out to Vado. Vado puts it on. You know what I mean? Let's shout it out, man. Let's shout it out. Don't do that, man. And now I feel like you're trying to shit on New York hip hop. Akademiks. Yeah, Akademiks. Yo, you whack, bro. You whack. And you always hating on somebody.
Point in New York City history, he was like, to me, the coolest guy. He was always seen as like the coolest guy from New York, right? However, I just want to, let me see, how old is Fabulous? Fabulous is 48 years old. These days when I'm seeing Fabulous, you know, by the way, there's nothing wrong with trying to dress well, but at certain points, I'm like, is Fab serious? Like, I can't really tell.
Always hating on somebody. Let me tell you a little quick story about Mano. One day, they coming out of the radio station, right? This is how thorough Mano really keep it. I know y'all probably seen us had our little words here and there. It wasn't serious. I would never raise my hand to him. He would never raise his hand to me. That's my brother, right? And it's like, I'm trying to remember how, oh yeah, we parked up the way. So when he looked, he's coming out. They're in the red Challenger. Never forget it. Mano go smile. Yeah, you know what? That's crazy. It's me, Zeke, may he rest in peace. Zeke, little brother Jay, and somebody else, my nephew Shooter. But we meeting ever homies from Flappers and Best Styles going to pull up, right? The little Monroe homies from Monroe. So when Mano come out, they hop in the Challenger. He come up the block, and he see me. The dog was heavy. Dog hopped out. Boom. MCK, you good, man? Yeah, good. So we going upstairs. All right, man. You be safe to snap. Boom, boom, boom. All right. No fear. All right. And the reason I put that out there, he was looking real gummy. He hopped out the car, man. This fly ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? He was looking gummy. He hopped out looking gummy. You know what I mean? And so I say that to put respect on the game. Yeah, dudes throw daggers at Jim Jones, but Jim Jones is always in best style. I seen him in Kiff one day when Roe Murder came home. Me, him, and Stony Don Murder and a few other brothers was there. I spoke to Jimmy and said, yo, tell Welder, said, my love. He said, all right, I got that. Got his movie and he went on for the shopping. I went next door to Vinny Styles, finished shopping. Right? And then another time I actually seen Jim out on the ad. This is before the 6ix9ine case. Had Melly and him. He's outside. Like, so don't get it twisted. Dudes talk that, you know, the Jomo shit, this and that and snap. I would never call him Jomo. Like I said on my video, that's an affectionate name that his childhood friends know him by. I know Jimmy. I've been in Miami with Jimmy. I've been in Cali with Jimmy. Not with him, but around him. Me and my cousin Prime, may Prime rest in peace. There's times I've been in the Yams with Fab, right? And they always look correct, man. Them dudes is not coming out the house, hotel, Airbnb, and any other type of, you know what I mean, roof over their head without looking exceptional, bro. You got to put respect on that. You can't do that. I'm not sitting around watching it, especially with a bird nigga like Akademiks. Akademiks, get your ass out of here hating on Jim Jones. Fab. I think Fab one of the cool guys. It's like you really on Jimmy Hills, but you trying to hide your hand in the process of doing it. Jim Jones ain't following no YNs. He's not dressing like no YNs. Fab not dressing like no YNs. And Mano definitely ain't dressing like no YN. They may salute the YN because they up and coming. You got to pay attention. They're around the YNs because they welcoming them into the game and trying to show them how to not only keep and maintain, but how to gain safe passage through travel, through their experience. So you're actually watching the YNs dressed like them. See the difference? You're not seeing them dressed like a YN. You watching the YN dressed like that. I'm pretty sure my children, the young dudes that come around me in the streets, they look at me and how I dress and probably say, damn, yo, I ain't gonna lie. OG, old head, whatever they call it. I don't look my age, but OG, you know, he be putting that on. I've had a few tell me that. I ain't gonna lie, OG, what? Yo, what's that? You know what I mean? What's that? That's blocky blocky snap. Right? You know, I'm on the bottom of the totem pole. So when I'm running around with the new Coach collection, with the sports, the Coach sports jacket, or I got the 100% leather Coach jacket and stuff like that. I just got a leather jacket on the people. But look at the price tag. That joint costs $2,300. But they don't know. You know why? I don't have the exposure Jim Jones and them have. But because I don't have the exposure that they have, don't mean that I'm going to hate on them. It's very few that can outstep Jimmy when it comes to dressing, man. Honestly, I'm just seeing Fab. I'm just seeing Fab. I don't see nobody else. Who else dressed like that? Who else dressed like that? You know what I mean? I don't see nobody else that dressed like that. You know what I mean? Sometimes Nick Cannon put it on. A lot of times he uncoordinated. He don't know how to coordinate a lot of his wears. He tried though, but like he'll have on a Gucci jacket with the prints, but then he'll be too printed. You know what I mean? A print, when you wear a print, whether it's Louis Vuitton, Gucci, it's supposed to be an accent. So you see, have something on, and then you just see that one print. He accented it. You know what I mean? All that is a telltale, a pickable, we call it for Brooklyn. That's just a pickable to let you know, listen, yeah, I'm in that. I'm on that. You know what I'm saying? So Akademiks, you out of line, you out of control, and you part of the problem because you make these YNs think they create something that been here long before them. Half of them, their mother wasn't even born when we was wearing this stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So let's cut the nonsense, man. You know what I mean? Get off Fab Bozak. Get off Jim Jones Bozak and get off Mano Bozak. And any of you dudes out there that's jacking what Akademiks is saying or got something hot to say about, you know what I mean, the Wonderful Three, that's what I call them. You know, you had Drake and them, the Big Three. I call Mano, Fab, and motherfucking Jim Jones, the Wonderful Three. That's when I'm not mad at you, Jimmy. All right? That's when I'm not mad at you. You're not mad at you. You know what I mean? Dude's going to tell you, around me, CK, damn, how many times you going to play that carton of milk shit? But that's what got me through the streets. That was my chill pill. You know what I mean? That, Fab, I mean, it's going to be a cold summer. I play that shit all day. You know what I mean? All day. No, me and Fab don't really have a relationship because Prime, this is why I get mad. People say gatekeep. May Prime rest in peace. Everybody knows that's my biological cousin. I love him to death. But I was trying to get a verse from Fab. We're in a boat. Because, you know, I have to be rough always with their knuckles and busting the ham, all that. And I go to talk to Fab, man, your Fab was good. Fab looked back, because he's sitting in a little section by himself or whatever, flew on the ones and twos. And Prime see me go over there, and for some reason, he thought I was over there to attack Fab. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you? Nah, man, yo, it's my man. And, oh, nigga, I rap. I got mixtapes. You don't think I got the opportunity to talk to Fab? I don't want to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? I told you, Murder. I said Murder. I told you, Mano, when we booked you for the Tory Lane shit at Amazoro. I wanted a verse from you, homie. You know what I mean? I don't hate on my niggas. I just wanted to be a rapper, nigga. I wanted to get out the streets. This is why a lot of times y'all hear me say I felt unappreciated, because there would be no Primes and none of that without me. When they came home from prison, I was a nigga with 1,000 pounds of Arizona. Not none of them other niggas that came along once they got on. All right? So I hope that brought clarity to the situation, Fab. I wasn't attacking you. I wanted a verse from you, bro. Prime just took it to the moon. Me, Dick Wolford, almost threw niggas off the boat. Dick, I told Dick, I said, yo, Dick, let me get Fab attention now while he's sitting by himself so I can see if I can get a fucking verse. I don't give a fuck with just six bars. If I get Fab on the joint, that'll get me some type of exposure, and then I can really stop playing with this shit and really go hard. And Prime went to the left with it, man. Anyway, it's all love, because for those that don't know, Fab was there at the funeral, and he made sure the older guy went off, you know what I mean, looking real good, man. All right. But anyway, man, Fab, Mano, Jimmy, keep doing what y'all doing, man. Hit on these niggas. This is 31 minutes.
Hey, yo, 31.